The April 2024 Visa Bulletin is out, and it comes with great news for applicants all across the board. Hi, my name is Oscar, and I'm a scientist, not a lawyer. In this channel, we talk about green card categories like EB1A or EB2 NIW, where you can self-petition, and that means that you can do it without a company sponsoring you, and even without paying a lawyer, saving a lot of money. Today, I bring you the Visa Bulletin for April 2024, which is the first month of the quarter. And I was talking in previous months of how this Visa Bulletin could bring good news because this year USCIS goes by quarters. That means that we expect that the first month of each quarter will see a bigger change than other months in the quarter. So we're going to see how that came true for April, and many applicants will see an advance in the dates that the Visa Bulletin shows. So let's take a look to the Visa Bulletin. Let's move to my other screen. And as usual, to get to this website, you just Google Visa Bulletin, and you will see this blue website. This is the official website. Don't go anywhere else. You need to find information directly from the official source. So usually we have the current month, in this case March 2024, on the left side of the screen, and then you have April 2024, upcoming month, on the right side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open each month in a separate tab, and we're going to move from one to the other so we can easily see the changes that will happen from March to April. So let's see. Right, so we are going to skip the family-based green card petitions, green card dates. As you know, in this channel, we don't talk about those. So if you were looking for that information, this is not your video. You can go somewhere else to find that information. So we are already in table A for the month of March, and we do the same for April. So what we are going to analyze first is the final action days, table A. This is the most important table because this really dictates if you can get your visa number. If there is a visa number available to you, that means that you can finish the process. If your priority date is earlier than the date shown in this table, you are done. You can get your interview and you will get your green card. However, if your priority date is later than this date, you still need to wait. So let's take a look and see what happens. For the first category, category EB1, which includes EB1A, what we see is, as usual, most countries have a C, which means current. This is the best scenario. That means no wait time. China and India, as usual, do have a little bit of wait time. China advances 2 months from July 2022 to September 2022, while India will move 5 months from October 2020 to March 2021. And this is really great news, especially for India. You know that a few months ago, there was a huge retrogression, basically a halt on visa numbers for India in the EB1 category. And now we have been seeing how those dates slowly advance, and April will be a very good month for India with that almost half a year jump in the dates. So let's talk about EB2 now. EB2 includes EB2 NIW, and in March, most countries except India and China had a date of November 2022, 22nd of November 2022. And I'm very happy to report that that date is moving forward by 2 months to 15th January 2023. And I know many people will be celebrating this moment because we have been seeing not a lot of movements lately. And this means that a lot of people will be able to complete their processes now with this date of January 2023 in table A, final action date. So let's see what happens for other countries. China goes from January 2020 to February 2020, 1 month movement. And India moves from March 2012 to April 2012, and that's another 1 month movement. So not a big jump, but at least we are seeing that natural 1 month movement forward, which is what we expect to see as a minimum. So we don't call this news bad news. So these are neutral news for China and India, but better news than what we have been seeing recently in the visa bulletin. If you are serious about your EB2 NIW or EB1A green card, you should take a look to my websites. In eb1greencard.info, here on the left side, you will find a lot of information about that green card category, and same goes for eb2 NIW.info, but for the NIW category. Above all, I recommend you check out my online courses. Here is the course curriculum for the EB2 NIW course, where you can find how to fulfill the requirements for this category, how to craft documents like recommendation letters, petition cover letter, professional plans, and once a month we will meet each other in a monthly live session. You can bring your questions, we will meet face-to-face and interact. And of course, you can always submit questions in each lecture, which you can find in English and in Spanish throughout the course. So join me in these courses if you are very serious about your green card processes. Now, let's take a look at Table B. But before going there, I must talk a little bit about what happened last month. Last month, USCIS told us to use Table A for filing an adjustment of status. That is not the scenario we like, because Table B is more beneficial than Table A, but we know that each year what they do is at some point in the year they move from Table B to Table A, and usually they don't go back, okay? What we do is we go to the link that we see here in the Table B introduction. We see a link, we click on that, and we open this website where USCIS tell us what table we have to use to file an adjustment of status. As usual, they take a few hours to update. We don't have the information for April, but again, since in March they ask us to use Table A, we don't expect that they will go back to Table B, okay? So we're going to go with the assumption that USCIS will still use Table A for filing adjustment of status. So that means that it is not going to be super important what Table B will tell us this month, but we are going to still take a quick look so we can see if there is any movement. So in March, first category of green cards, EB1, was current for most countries. Now in April, again, we have a C, and even China and India have no movements whatsoever. And then for EB2, we had a date of February 15th, 2023. And in April, we have, again, exactly the same date. And the same thing happens with China and India. No movement, June 2020 for China and May 2012 for India. So that goes to say that USCIS is probably going to keep Table A and not Table B for filing an adjustment of status, but check in a few hours this website and confirm that that is correct. One more thing that I usually like to do is to check the footnotes in the visa bulletin, because sometimes there is good information there, information about the future that we should pay attention to. That hasn't happened in the previous months, but actually in April, there's a very interesting footnote. So we're going to go down, we pass the diversity visa green card numbers, and we get into this section E. And here USCIS is doing something that I have never seen, which is they are giving some projections, but in this case for family sponsor categories, they are telling us how they think the different categories in the family green card categories are going to move in the coming months. I'm not going to get into that because I don't talk about family green cards, but then they talk very briefly about employment base. And what they tell us is very little to no forward movement is expected in the coming months, since the final action dates for many categories advance for April 2024. So basically, USCIS and the Department of State are telling us, you know, you should be happy, EB2 NIW for this 5-month movement that you are getting here, but don't expect that to continue in the coming months. Expect little to no movements in the coming months. Now, I don't know what they mean by coming months. They could be in the rest of this quarter, or in the worst case scenario, that means in the rest of the fiscal year that will finish in September. I hope that's not the case, but as usual, I don't make predictions. I don't make big projections. I go month by month, quarter by quarter, because I don't have the crystal ball that I would love to have, so I could tell you what is going to happen in the future. That's it from me for today. I think finally I'm able to give you some good news, which is very nice after a few months of neutral to negative news. I hope you are happy. I hope many of you are getting very, very close or almost finishing your processes. And I will see you here in this channel again next week. Subscribe, share, like this video, and good luck in your green card journey.